Hey guys, so in the last video, we took care of temperature, pressure, and oxygen. We got up to plant life habitability, and we started going over a little bit what it means to stabilize things. So now we're going to get into increasing water and increasing biomass, and hopefully just wrapping up and finishing up with 20 culture points so we can declare independence and win this bad boy. So let's get into it. Okay, so first thing you want to do whenever you come back in a game is you check your stats. So we're decreasing at 15 per minute. That would be about roughly 900 per hour, which is fine because we have overshot our temperature. Not too crazy, but we definitely did overshoot it. Our pressure is rapidly in. Oh no, that's an hour. See, oh my gosh, always read that part. I was like, oh, what's happening? So it's not so bad. I will eventually want to do something that stabilizes it because that is perfect. Actually, why don't I just build something right now? That's silly. Why would I just wait? We're gonna do that. So we actually need to research that. So here's what we research. We need to offset it by 20, and that's only because we only have 2 spaceports operating at level 1. If we were to increase this, it would be, I think it's plus 15 pressures for spaceport level 2, plus 20 for level 3, so on and so forth. But for right now, it's only at 20, so we will build 2. And we will hurry all. As I say every video, I am only hurrying it for the sake of this video. You do not need to do that. I am not telling you to spend GP. I am not suggesting anything like that. It's your prerogative. However, you probably don't want to watch a video about watching grass grow at the rate of grass growing. Okay, so we have upgraded it to work against the spaceports. So if we were to go back into the stats, we would see that growth has been stabilized, and it's been stabilized over all measurements, which is great. We were really close to getting it exactly. I am not a stickler for exact. I just like it in the green. Some people really, really love getting it to be exact. And that's fine. That's totally up to you. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying like it's good enough. Okay, so we have nothing. Oh, no. Sorry, we do have temperature decreasing, but that's fine. We have nothing increasing our pressure. We have nothing increasing our oxygen. This means if we were to leave the game alone for a couple hours, we should be okay, right? At this rate, we would be fine. But because we do want to increase our sea level before we, quote unquote, leave, I am going to build some water facilities, which I haven't even researched yet. Silly me. So let's go ahead and research those. We want water, so we will be researching and building water production facilities. So that means cloud seeder, that means aquifer network, because aquifer network means comet sling. Confirm. Okay. Ooh, we are running out of credits. You know what, while we're here, because we're going to do biomass eventually. Confirm. Confirm. Do I have enough? I do. Okay, cool. So when we're building biomass, I think I said this in the first video, You can worry about terrestrial biomass, but I wouldn't. I would just straight up go for the aquatic biomass, because you just want coral reefs, baby. That's where it's at. Baby. Oh my gosh, I need to stop doing these at 2 a.m. I say this every video. Okay. So let's build our water production facilities. We're going to build 2. We're going to build 2. Okay. Cool, we got some water going. Let's see how long it'll take. Okay, so it's at 400 per minute, which means, okay, so if we left it alone for an entire day, that would have been awesome if we left it alone for the entire day at the first, at the beginning, right? Because we would be done. So what we'll do instead is see who we got in here. Oh, it's Fiza. We love Fiza. Fiza's awesome, but we don't want Fiza right now. Sorry, Fiza. Let's do Kainoa, or Duke would be good too. Oh, Duke would be good because we'd get more money. But only at 30%. So this is the problem with your your harder to get governors, is because they are harder to get, you know, by nature. They're not very leveled up. Meanwhile, your common governors, where you're like, oh, you know, they're a dime a dozen. I mean, look at that. That's incredible. The allure is too powerful, you guys. I can't ignore Kainoa's benefits. I mean, she's incredible. So let's look at what she's doing for us. Holy crap, look at that. Oh my gosh, we would be done so quick. So let's go ahead and go over to the fast forward area. So for 1 hour, we would already be in the green in biomass. Isn't that amazing? And in... How come I didn't go green for... Oh, because I overshot it. Silly me. Okay, we're just going to do 1 hour. Ta-da! Let's see if I messed it up. I did not. That's awesome, because you always run the risk of overshooting. It's an estimate. Okay, so let's just take a look at our world. Like, we haven't checked up on that in a while. Let's just see what it looks like. Gosh, look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? Oh yeah, this is a really cool photo mode if you hadn't seen it. It's funny because it implies that there are 2 suns, because, like, you know, the light would be coming from over here, and then who's this guy? Do, 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 do. But our Mars is coming along beautifully, as you can see. When night falls, you can see the city lights come on, and you can see the trade routes. You can see right here starting to become an island, like we said earlier. So all very cool. What's cool about that too is that this trade route, if it does eventually, if parts of it do eventually submerge, you won't see the lights over it anymore. You shouldn't. And some people have pointed out, like, hey, where did those go? And it's because, I mean, you typically do not have extensive highway networks over massive bodies of water. And so even though the highway isn't there, the trade route is still there. We still have trade routes going through water. I mean, Panama Canal, you know, Atlantic Ocean, all that stuff, what have you. So not to worry, your trader route's still there. It's just not being represented by what looks like a freeway. Ooh, a gaming festival is popular in Wong Ranch. Okay, so we either get money or we get a culture point. I am at the point where I really want the culture points. So let's leave it alone. And we'll get, boom, a culture point. Great. Okay, so let's see where we're at. This is awesome. This is so awesome. I love it when it's stabilized and, you know, it's going the right way. It's going not that fast. So as you can probably tell, the more arrows going towards something, the faster it is going in that direction. So our water is increasing much faster than our temperature is decreasing. And it wasn't always like that. It used to be that, you know, there weren't any arrows, and so you could just kind of had to guess. Okay, I guess it's moving. Like it was a little difficult to read, but no worries. It's not now. Okay, so I am going to let it sit, and when we get to the water goal, letting it sit for that long and we've overshot it, isn't that bad? This is why you have to babysit or you have to pause. Anyway, I'm gonna let it sit. When we come back, we'll be at our water goal. Oh man, look at these guys. I've been saying how useless mining is, and they've been still chugging away, working real hard. And they upgraded it to a level 5. I mean, thanks guys. But it's still, I mean, it's free money, right? It's free real estate. No, it's like, it's free money. Like I shouldn't be. Thanks guys. Thanks guys. Thank you guys.
One eternity later.
All right, so let's check the water. Nice. We are at green. That's great. So even though we haven't hit the actual water goal, you know, we're not at 600,000 centimeters, it doesn't matter because we are within 5% of the goal stats. So it's fine. So what we're going to do, I'm going to shut off the comet slings. Disable. I said disable. Yeah. Disable. Okay. So we are going to lose some money, but it's fine because let's just make sure we are still growing the water. That's okay. We're gonna have to stabilize that eventually. I'm not saying that is okay, period. I'm just saying that it's okay for now, because you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so we researched coral reefs, right? Right, okay. So now what we're gonna do, actually we have enough money, don't we? We're going to build a new city. Okay, obviously we want to build a hab dome instead. I mean, by the time we built that, we had already exceeded the hab units limits. Crazy, right? Okay, so we've built a new city because what we're gonna do is we're gonna build coral reefs, and we're gonna build as many as we can. Sweet. Okay. So here's the thing about biomass. So biomass works differently than every other stat. So if you notice, every stat right here, we've got temperature, pressure, oxygen, and water. Every stat here is green in the middle and red on either ends, meaning it can be too cold or too hot. There can be too little pressure or too much pressure. You can have no water, or you can flood your planet. I mean, it's Goldilocks gameplay, as Alex likes to call it. Biomass is different. You can never have too much biomass. You see, it just goes from red to green. That's it. And the reason for that is because of the human consumption factor. Now, on normal mode, this doesn't matter. You can build the sky farm, and that can build, you build that as a satellite out in space, and it basically generates enough food for the human population to be able to just grow into infinity. And I do mean infinity. There's the population tab right here. You know, it's only 142,000 people, but your growth can exceed it to just ridiculous numbers, to the point where it's like the computer just goes, it doesn't even matter. I don't even need to count anymore. Like, I'm not gonna get into like the non-nillions anymore. Like, just infinity, because it's effectively infinity. You can't really do that on modes without satellites because of human consumption. I keep on going to the money tab. So human consumption, as you can see right now, is at 0. On expert mode, it's definitely a lot harder, and you don't have the satellite. So you are going to need to have a constant output of biomass, because otherwise humans will eat all the biomass, and then they will have no more biomass to eat, and then they will starve and they will die. And then at that point, your biomass production facilities are making enough to feed the greatly reduced human population, and so you won't have a complete die-off, but you will have a lot of people die if you're not feeding them. I mean, people need food to eat. That makes sense. So biomass is critical. Always, 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 always be making biomass. Cool. So let's see. I feel like we can do something for population now, because we're gonna want to get to the population milestone. That's when we get the next culture point. There are random events that pop up that are like, they don't seem like they do much, but they actually do affect your culture. The one that will affect the plutocracy versus democracy is the give me you're tired, you're poor. And if you're like, you know, bring in new people, you'll shift towards democracy ever so slightly, and you'll get plus 5% population growth at the detriment of plutocracy. So you'll have minus 5% financial growth. At a certain point, though, you don't really need the finances. Like, once you have your planet at paradise and everything is balanced, and you are making decent money, like you still need to make some money. So this is assuming that you're making decent money. You'll get to a point where you don't need to make obscene amounts of money anymore. So you will need the population to get those culture points. Okay. Our veteran players know what to do here. Our veteran players know that it belongs in a museum. You get the culture point, but we've had so many memes with the Indiana Jones stuff, like, it belongs in a museum. Yeah. Okay, so like I did with the water, oh my gosh, that's gonna take forever. We're probably gonna need to fast forward this. We're still growing at a crazy rate, and that's because the hab domes are still up. I think I know what I need to do. I need to get Kainoa out of there. And instead, what's the city making right now? It's just pressure and space. Okay, so we're gonna get, we need some people. We need some people and we need some biomass. But really we just need people. And money. Taehyun, you're up. Boop. Cool. That'll help with our culture points. What we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our facilities. And we're going to upgrade them all. Okay, so now we're getting more. Woohoo! Who is our governor in here? Do we even have one yet? Oh my gosh, why do I always do this? Can you tell that I have played more without governors? Okay. See, and that would have been so much more helpful. Dang it! Just shame me in the comments. I deserve all the shame. Just continuously shame me. Ah, Zora, you're my only hope. Boom. And who's the governor in Howl's Melody? Yeah, let's just get more people. Or more money, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna need more money. So let's get more money going. It's our boy Temujin. Yeah, so let's see what we got then. Nice, that's much better. That is much better. So now, actually, we might be safe to fast forward. We are not. We are. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look. Yes, if we do it, it's going to be all in green. Actually, that's really good. Holy crap, that is really good. Yeah, we're going to do it. I hope it's just a good estimate. And I hope we're okay. I hope we're okay. Oh, we're okay. Okay. Let's take a look. All right, beautiful. Very good. Very good. Okay, this is great. Okay, perfect. Okay, so first let's take a look at our beautiful world. It's so pretty. So now what we have is Mars is habitable for human life. So now you can see it's so green, it's so beautiful. The topography has clearly changed. You know, there's a little island out there like we said. The top is basically just a water world and then some ice caps. Bottom we've got some ice caps as well. There's a little lake over here. We can take a look at the map and show you without the cities. So yeah, so a couple things. People sometimes ask what this edge is. This is ice, just so we're clear. These edges are ice. Don't always have them, sometimes they're extended further down. You can get a snowball Mars. You can completely freeze out your world. Easier to do with the Soletta. So that's a possibility. Another thing is, as your biomass increases, it grows in according to temperature. So if your planet is really, it's like warmer than paradise stats, your biomass will have a harder time growing along the equator, right? Because it's hot. And so it becomes a more desert area. If your planet is a little too cold, then you'll see biomass only growing around the equator. And it will be, if there's water, a lot of water, you'll see ice. If there's not a lot of water, you'll just see like in Mars's case, you'll just see orange. The equator at a glance if you have biomass, is a good indicator of where your temperature is at. Because I'm very close to paradise stats, but I'm coming down because I overshot it a bit. I'm a little too hot. You'll notice that I have biomass on the outside, but not on the equator. You can also take a look at night, and remember what I said in the last video. This becomes an island, and you can see that, like, you know, they adapted, right? So you have this transit or this trade route, and at some point it just goes over the water, almost like maybe it's like the channel, right, between the UK and mainland Europe. You know, it's like the channel. So fun stuff, very cool. Okay, so now our goal. Yes, you guys, we did it. We hit paradise. We are at paradise stats. Ah! Okay, so now you can tell that we're at paradise because all of these are green. All of these are green, which means that we are in paradise. We're in the clear. Now, with that being said, we are still decreasing temperature ever so slightly per minute. Over time, we will eventually get too cold if we leave this alone, right? Our pressure is fine for now, pending something bad happening to one of the facilities, right? Like maybe like something takes one of them out, or maybe the Prodigy event comes along and it gets to like a level 10 and we don't notice it, and then it just goes out and whack. Same thing with oxygen. Actually, oxygen, we've got nothing, so it's fine. Well, there could be a random event that increases or decreases oxygen. Water is something we have to watch out for. You always have to watch out for water, because if the heat increases too much, all of a sudden your ice will all melt. Right now it's global cooling, so it's not so bad. But if it were to increase, all of this water that's frozen in ice is going to be added in addition to what we're adding. Always watch out for your water. Biomass, like we said, doesn't matter. You can get it to like a bazillion, whatever, like a massively fake word. Doesn't matter. But we gotta watch out for that water. And that's why it's telling us to stabilize the temperature, because if your temperature is increasing, your water is likely increasing too. So the first thing we can do to help stabilize the water is, you ready for this, guys? You can turn off your HAB dome or your HAB unit or whatever you have. You can turn those off. Now, here's the issue. If for some reason Mars goes back to how it was, if it becomes like a barren wasteland, if it goes back to plant life habitability or barren habitability, all the people will die, or they'll flee, they'll go back to Earth, whatever. Point is that no one will be able to live in it because it is disabled. And I'm gonna go ahead and just destroy it too while I'm at it. Or no, it's a level 10, but it will be disabled. So this means that no one can get into it. If you're confident that you don't need it anymore, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. Otherwise, keep it on and just balance it out with something else. It's making water, so you're going to need to balance it out with a water reduction facility. This is just another option, and this is the one that I typically do. So now they're out on the surface of Mars. No one's living in the HAB domes anymore. It's like they've just gone out and they're living just like how we would live on Earth. They're building homes. But they are no longer living in the HAB domes. This one I'm just gonna demolish because the other ones were level 10. It was like, oh man, that's really hard to get because it's a random event. This I can just build again. Cool. So now our water is, yeah, it's decreasing because we have global cooling. See, it's a balance game, but it's decreasing at a rate of approximately 105 per minute. But that fluctuates depending on our temperature. Because a minute ago it was at what, minus 101? But what you saw there was that nothing was making it increase, so we can actually just shut these off. I'm just gonna shut them off. I'm not gonna see, that was easy. I'm not gonna destroy them. I'm just gonna shut them off. And now our water is stable too. So everything has the potential to be impacted by another thing. So this is awesome. Now we are just waiting for our population to grow. This is the only thing we need, because we need culture points. So at this point, we do one of two things. We just wait. We just wait, and we wait for our population to grow. That's one way you can get your culture points, because the surefire way to gain culture points is by population milestones. And so a fast way to do this is to make sure all of your governors are doing things that get population, and you're building things that also gain population. So if I were to build a spaceport which increases population by 120, keep in mind that it's also increasing pressure. So if I'm doing that, I need to have another facility that's also counterbalancing that pressure. Otherwise, I'm going to see my pressure increase. So it's really tempting to run out and build as many spaceports as you want, and that actually is a really great strategy. Just keep in mind that you absolutely have to counterbalance it with another plant. Like, you might get to a point where you can counterbalance it with like something like the biofixture lab, but it's got other side effects too. What does the biofixture lab side effect have? Biomass. Oh, we should be doing that one. Duh. That's actually a great one. So actually, to do that, what we can do instead of researching, or instead of building a plant and getting it to level 4, let's just build, we're going to build 2 spaceports if we can afford it. Yes. And we're also going to build 1 biofixture lab. We're going to hurry all. We're going to disable these. And let's see if that did the trick. It did. Cool. So in case you guys didn't see, so I had a spaceport, I had 2 spaceports, and I had 2 planets at level 4. So the effects were plus 20 pressure from the 2 spaceports and minus 20 pressure from the 2 planets. I noticed that the biofixture labs do negative 40 pressure. So what I did was I built 1 of those, and to counterbalance that, I also built 2 other spaceports, so that way they have plus 20 pressure as well. It evened out back to 0. So you don't need to build, like, first of all, you don't need to build like 40 spaceports. They're all at level 1. I could upgrade them. Just keep in mind you're going to have to counterbalance everything. It's all a balancing game at this point, because we want to just get that population up. So now that we have some more spaceports, I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to unassign her. And we're going to get in we're going to do Joanna. That's not bad. We should probably just upgrade them is what it is. Do we have enough money? Yeah, we don't have enough money. Okay, that's fine. Well, we got something. Let's see about that fast forward. So you see, I can do as much GP as I have, like whatever, and none of this is changing because we've balanced it all out. That's how incredibly good we are at this game, right? We're like, at this point, we are pros. So I'm going to pretend that we're going to bed now. You know, it's time for bed, and we're gonna get a nice good 8 hours of sleep because we have our lives together and we're doing amazing. All right, so we had 8 hours of sleep. Oh, good morning, guys. We just woke up. We are refreshed and we are up and at 'em. And would you look at that? We have 18 culture points. That's awesome. We still need 2 more. So at this point, if you're getting up, you're checking your game, you're looking at what you can do, there is another option for you. And that is simply to just keep your game up and running while you're doing other things. Maybe you are eating breakfast and you're reading the newspaper. Do people read newspapers anymore? Maybe you're watching TV, you're catching up on a show, you're doing something. You can just keep your game open. And the reason for that is because, you know, you're going to get random events on occasion. And those random events can gift you culture points. So if you're just waiting for those last few ones and you can't be bothered to just, you know, maybe you don't have the GP to fast forward, maybe you don't want to wait 2 more hours or however long it would take you to get your next population milestone marker, just keep it open. And then you'll get all 20. For the sake of the video, I am going to fast forward. So as you can see, we have 20 culture points. Yay, go us! What we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to click independent. I know it doesn't look like a button, but it's a button. And we're going to just do it all at once. 100% independence. And the reason why, I said this in the first video, the reason why we do this all at once is because we want to avoid terrorist attacks. If we were to have done it one by one, you know, you get to 65, 70, 75, you're going to get terrorist attacks all the time. There's people call themselves like the Sword of Mars or something like that. They don't want independence. They want to be tethered to the home planet. And so they'll do whatever it takes to stop you from gaining independence. And so that's what that's coming from. Just bypass it. Bypass it completely. Save all 20. Do the 100% independence. And boom. All right, I'm going to not read this. Go ahead and pause it right here if you want to read it. So that's awesome. We won. We have beat our first game. on Mars on beginner mode, biomass, Daughters of Gaia. So at this point, you have a few different options. You can continue on Mars. If you want to keep playing, you're like, I've grown attached to this world, I want to see if I can get a trade route to connect the other cities, I want to see how big this population can get, I don't want to move on just yet, that's fine. Go ahead and hit continue. If you are ready to go to the next planet, which is Mercury is recommended, then you can go ahead and you can get started. If you're not ready to do either, you can just hit the main menu and you can fiddle around with it from there. We get a lot of players that just say continue on Mars, that's fine, and then they don't know where to go next. I'm going to show you the different options. So let's just say begin on Mercury. It will immediately start you into the begin a new game on Mercury from here. And it will ask you if you want to pause your game first. Personally, I always pause. Some people love to let it just run forever and ever and ever, and we have stabilized our stats, so that would be fine. I personally just pause. I like it all to just be where I know where it's safe, so I pause. So here it's already chosen Mercury for us. And we can choose whatever faction, we can choose whatever difficulty, so we can choose whatever from here. And I think it's actually going to force us to choose. Okay, that's fine. And so then it lets us just start right up. If we had chosen main menu, it would have taken us here. Right? So we would just go ahead and tap to start, play, and we could choose the terrestrial planets. These are the free ones. And if we wanted to, we could go check on our Mars, and it tells us when our fastest victory is. It tells us when we've beaten it, or what faction we've used to beat it. So we did Daughters of Gaia for this round. If we did Sons of Hephaestus, we'd have a different ribbon. Some of our players, particularly in our Discord, like to do what's called the ribbon challenge, where they try to get every last ribbon. So this includes every faction, 5 factions. Fastest victory, obviously, you're going to get that no matter what. And then biospheres. I believe there's also expert mode 1. It's been a while since I think we implemented the ribbons in 5.0, so I probably haven't even thought of these since like late 2018. So someone in the comments who's more than likely done the ribbon challenge, feel free to let us know what is there. I just do not remember at, what is it, 2:30 in the morning. So let's say I'm like, okay, I was at the main menu, I really want to get back into that game I just started. I would go to Mercury, and this is the game that we just started 5 minutes ago. And I could just load it, I could delete, I could cancel and go, actually, I don't want to play Mercury, I want to play the moon. These are your options that you can do. So after beating Mars, you have several options available to you. We point you to Mercury or the moon. Those are the 3 worlds that are available to you as first-time players. Mercury, the moon, and Mars. They are the easier worlds. After you beat Mars, you can play Venus. I do not recommend it. I do not. Venus is brutal. Venus is so hard. Like, especially if you're not rushing things. If you're just playing the slow game, Venus, especially as a first-time player, is just punishing. So it's really better that you play Mercury or the moon first and then play Venus. Like, you really should get to know this game a little better before you start it. With that being said, it's up to you. If you want to play it, go for it. Just, I wouldn't sink a lot into it if you don't really know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Just, you run the risk of losing a lot. Finally, Earth. Earth will become available after you beat Venus. You can purchase Venus and Earth. I think it's $1. It's not that expensive. You don't have to though. You can play Mars first and get Venus, then you can beat Venus and you'll get Earth. So if you're eager to start them, that's fine. Otherwise, just wait and beat it. So yeah, that's our Mars playthrough, you guys. We did a most excellent job. We are amazing. We are pro terraformers, and just, we should be hired to terraform Mars immediately for the benefit of humanity, because we're just that awesome. And next time we will get into, I mean, we started a Mercury game. Next time, let's just get into Mercury. Let me know if you like these videos. By the way, if you don't, I will be sad. No, it's fine. But let me know. Also, let me know, like, we started a game on Mercury with the Far Future Institute for lore purposes. That is what I prefer. But if you would rather see something else, let me know. We can totally play a different faction. I'm not married to that. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to do. And I hope you had as much fun as I did playing through this. I don't get to play through it very often. I mostly just get to hunt for bugs. So it's been fun to actually play it from start to finish. Not something I constantly get to do. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. And as always, happy terraforming.